Voice of Neil Rule, live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, everyone. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy over there is D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Spencer Raxter. We got Sam Flannel. We're squad deep up in here. Today's Thursday, right, D-Mac?
Oh, all day, baby.
All day?
9 o'clock, Grinder takes the stage. Uncle Sam Jam, but, I'm out. It's looking. Hair's done, ready to roll. Let's go. Thursday.
He is ready to rock. There is no question about that. A lot going on. The Tigers swept the Cleveland Guardians. They are back. Get the playoff tickets ready. They're ready to roll. We are too, D-Mac. Hey, man. They're back, baby. Tigers are back. Just like we said all opening day long, this team's a factor. They're here to stay.
66%. Are we up there yet?
We're up there yet. I think so.
No, it's a good stand. It is just the Guardians. If you take it a day at a time and what we're seeing, there's some good things that we've seen. You can enjoy winning, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't resolve the fact there's nothing in the cupboard.
I know.
Nothing in the minors. Alvila's still the GM, so hey, way to go. If you care, you care. Hopefully for everybody who bet on the Tigers, you won money, and I'm happy for you.
There it is. That's what it all comes back to.
Care less.
Okay, fair enough. We move on. Big time show lined up for you here today. Jason Langwell, the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, will join us coming up around 11:28 or so. He'll let you know everything that's going on. Less than a month out from the Rocket Mortgage Classic at the Detroit Golf Club. And D-Mac, that's one of those events. I enjoy it. It's a lot like the Quick Lane Bowl. It's a lot like when a conference tournament comes here. It's something in Detroit. If you're a fringe golf fan, PGA Tour events are cool. And look, I know our golf audience is a house divided. The people that love it, love it. The people that don't like it, really don't like it.
They're not good.
But as a sports fan, though, you can't beat the access that you get to a PGA Tour event.
No, especially not here, and especially at Detroit. And if anybody's been to the Detroit Golf Club where it's held, it's the way that they maneuver it, obviously the 313 zone. That's one of the I'm excited to talk to Jason because of what is the fan interaction, because you can really get sort of up and close with some of these guys that maybe you've seen on TV, and they're in your backyard, yet alone walking around probably in the Royal Oaks and Birminghams and throughout the city. So I think it's cool, whether you're a golf fan or just a fan of events being held in your city, which I am. So that's huge. And I think with Dan Gilbert to have and for everybody, for Rocket Mortgage, for everybody involved, to have a golf tournament in the city of Detroit is huge.
No, absolutely. It is. And hopefully everybody can roll out, and we'll talk more about that with Jason Langwell. NBA Summer League finally starts tonight / tomorrow morning / today, yesterday, tomorrow, midnight.
I think the most confusing thing out of anything in this so far this summer is when does the Pistons' first game lead out? Because I thought you guys said, and when I left here yesterday, I was pretty sure it was midnight tonight. But talking to 3 other people, they were like, "No, I'm getting glued in for the game," and I'm like, "It's tomorrow." No, it's not. And I'm like, oh, "Okay." So it didn't happen yesterday.
It did not. It happens tonight, and we laid this out yesterday. It is not tomorrow. Like you can say, well, midnight's tomorrow. No, it's not. It's not tomorrow until you go to bed and wake up. That's when it's tomorrow.
You're pretty adamant about that.
No, it's not, Spencer. No, it's. You know what they should do? I think it all circles back to Hawaii football. What they do. They play their games after the time change in the later fall. They play their games at 11:59.
Smart. Mountain West.
11:59 Saturday night.
Yes.
What's hard about that?
It's to avoid this confusion.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Come on.
Because it's technically Friday that they're playing, but it's like their Thursday slate of games is when it's so they put Thursday at midnight. And
So just do it at 11:59.
so I stayed up until midnight last night, and then SportsCenter came
Like
on.
a chump.
Yeah,
and
like
we got the
a
text
chump.
from you,
Like a
too.
chump.
12:04.
Like a chump.
We got the 12:04
Hey.
a.m. text from Spencer. Summer League's not on. I guess it's tomorrow at midnight.
Yeah,
like a chump.
I had to change the first thing on the prep, and I was excited to watch some Summer League, see the young guys go at it.
You played yourself.
I did play myself. I really did.
Yeah, but getting to it all here today. How about this one? And you guys will love this. Detroit Dabber 313. Nice job on the call at the Detroit City game last night, Neil. I cracked up when you dropped the "as new information presents itself, you're allowed to change your opinion."
Wow, Sam Flannel's made it big time.
and
OMG, did you hear that, Flannel?
I didn't hear it, but Neil told me that he did it, and I'm honored, Neil, that you would drop a line that I use in a broadcast of Detroit City FC. Absolutely honored.
No, don't get ahead here. I didn't give you any credit for it or anything.
But technically, he dropped that on your show, so it is yours.
Yeah, but I mean, hey.
We'll get into the copyright thing and how it's more.
See, that's how it works. When you're friends with me,
Yes.
anything you send me in a text, anything you say to me on the golf course, having a drink, on a show,
Absolutely.
whatever, becomes my intellectual property, and I will use it and give you no credit whatsoever, just so you know.
You know, until like down the road when we're talking about it, but cat's out of the bag. That that was nice though. But
Except his,
nicely done. How was that game?
Well, they got off rolling, got a goal in the 20th minute. Place was rocking, almost 6,000 people out there. And Stephen Carroll, the captain, tweaked a hamstring at midfield, kind of shook it off, went down, was defending to defend a cross, like stretched out his leg to tip it away, and went down and needed help getting off the pitch, grabbing at that hamstring area. After the match was over, was on crutches. It's not a good deal. When you're on hamstrings, when it's a hamstring and you're on crutches, you fill in the blanks.
So that's the big thing as far as what we talked about.
Everything changed too.
Injuries.
Yeah.
So everything changed.
Everything
so
changed.
It's a big part, and I think we've talked about it where you don't really have the luxury. Your top guys got to be healthy and got to be your top guys.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So I'll work to.
Good luck to him and
absolutely
best wishes in getting better. But
and it's a gauntlet for them, right? They played Saturday night in Vegas where it was 104 degrees. They played Wednesday night, last night in Detroit, and then they have a match at Indianapolis, Indy 11, on Saturday. So you got 3 matches in 7 days. It's the middle of summer. Now you're down your captain. Like, they're up against it, no doubt. But you knew this was going to happen. This is a long season, man. Goes from March to October. At some point, this was going to happen. So you got to rise up, right?
Time to step up.
Yeah.
This could be a blessing in disguise.
No, yeah, and it is. It's that situation for Detroit City FC. So, as a matter of fact, I'll be rolling out of here Friday, going to the airport to call that match for Saturday. So we'll keep an eye on it, no doubt about that.
Can't wait to hear what you drop. Drop, and hey, guess who Neil stole this from?
Yeah. Well, all right, now let's talk about this.
Guess who Neil saw in first class on his flight to Florida?
Let's talk about this. Rich Diana, and we'll need input from you. We'll need some input from Sam Flannel eventually as well. Rich Diana says Flannel took that from Abe Lincoln.
Oh, dang.
Can we confirm?
Let me look up some Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, I mean, D-Mac.
It sounds like sort of stoic presidential.
It does. I don't know if Sam is wise beyond those years.
Yeah, and that's my point.
Actually,
no way Sam Flannel's that smart, right? There's no way.
Wouldn't you be prouder of Flannel though if he did that? That's
No,
sort of right out of the
no,
deal.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
Isn't that right out of the sort of what you said with you?
But it's different when I do it. See,
Exactly. Do as I say.
Not as I do.
Not as I do. Remember that. Big D energy. I took that from my parents too.
Yeah, absolutely. NHL draft tonight as well, and we'll discuss that certainly with a guy who knows a thing or two about the NHL draft scene. As he got drafted and stuff. D-Mac,
30 years ago. My draft
you kidding?
was 30 years ago. Not 10. Not 20.
Oh my God.
30 years ago in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, home of the poutine.
Your NHL career is older than I am, D-Mac.
No, my draft. I was drafted.
Your draft is older than me.
That's it. You weren't even a speckle,
No, I wasn't even a thought.
young Spencer.
I was
Yeah.
even
And
swimming around
but
in my
wait,
dad's
that
balls
sort
yet.
of hits it, right? That sort of hits a little bit harder, right? 3
That is-
decades. 30.
Why you got to do that, man? Bring everybody down.
No, why?
Because that makes me feel old.
No, it's more like, hey, we're still here. Let's go. Got a
We're
big
still
one.
with y'all.
Come on, Wings. Got to be a better draft than a 92.
Tammy Chin, our YouTube chat thread, says if you're coming out to Little Caesars Arena tonight, don't forget they have their annual tent sale, which is pretty cool, by the way. All the memorabilia that they sell and everything like that. Everything's still debit or credit only, no cash. So act accordingly to that. Austin Harris says it is tomorrow if you work the night shift and go to bed after midnight and wake up before midnight. Is it tomorrow? I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is like if you're up Thursday
you
night,
go home and you got to get a nap in, but you wake up before the crack of midnight.
if you're up on Thursday night before midnight, if you're up, it is not Friday until you go to sleep, whatever time it is, and wake up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever time it is you go to sleep, then when you wake up, then it's Friday. I don't know. I don't have all the answers.
So should they just put 12, not noon?
No, they should just do it at 11:59.
Yes.
Like 12, not noon.
11:59 p.m. That's what they should do.
Okay.
YouTube chat poll, Spencer.
I'm still trying to find that.
Well, I mean,
Abe Lincoln.
11:59 would be less confusing, right? You know, and you know it from your Mountain West Hawaii. You're right there.
But they're smart over there. They kicked the game off at 11:59 Saturday night. So they're playing Saturday night at 11:59. There is no confusion.
My question is, how many people are going to be up?
I'm gonna be up.
Yeah,
Well,
people
it's your job, bro.
people are jonesing.
I mean, how many people whose job it isn't to watch stuff like this,
That's
right?
a good point.
Stay up at the midnight, you know,
Yeah,
and not on a weekend, right? Because you've proven a point, Neil, that it works and it doesn't really matter. So to your point, you're not going to miss the Mountain West last game. You know when it's coming on, whether it's Hawaii, no matter who it is,
Right.
whatever like that, and whether it's 11:59 or not. The confusing thing is because this isn't program viewing, right? You're programmed to dial it in. You don't care if it's 11:59 and advertised 12:01, whatever like that.
No, I'm
You
gonna be
know
there, yeah.
At the end of the drinking cycle on Saturday night, right?
It's
is
time for
bound
Hawaii
out to
football.
The get right
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
has to
Let's
get
settle
right.
in. Let's
Sometime-
get the money deposited into the account. Let's get the evening entertainment lined up, and let's do it. Let's do some Mountain West football.
So because the question is when you're gonna mess with the schedule or my sleep schedule during the week or whatever, just be more consistent when I can decide and define. And at 11:59, I know exactly when I gotta watch it and what day or whatever. Right? There's no confusion. So it's a lack of confusion, but it's just because it's different. So.
No, Adam Baydoun, I did not see the breaking news. So I will leave that to your show, Adam. You can go ahead and run that how you see fit. Owen says Spencer loves his NBA. You do. I got a very good buddy of mine that I went to high school with.
Yeah.
Now he's a summer league OG. I mean, for years it's been his thing, where he just locks into the summer league all summer long. You, though, are the closest I've seen
I'm
to
excited.
him.
I mean, you get the first.
Are you like
look
this
at the
every
young
year?
Guys. Yeah.
Are you?
I was like, yeah. I mean, you get the first look at the young guys. You get. I love basketball. You get to see some basketball back. Get to see some guys that could be picked up, you know, around the league. Like, oh, is this team going to drop them? You get beautiful stories like Kenny Lofton Jr. just absolutely bodying Chet Holmgren because he's just a thick boy, a big old thick boy getting down there and just putting it on him. So I'm excited. I like it. I want to see Jalen and Jaden. And, like, the storyline, like, we have Jaden Ivey versus Shaden Sharp in the first game. So I'm excited to watch.
Keaton Rudiger says, are we really having this conversation about a summer league game? Keaton, it's out of control. Like, the summer league things. Wait till tomorrow. Wait till tonight. If you jump on Twitter, say 2 a.m., like say you wake up for a midnight snack or whatever, or, you know, you got to let the dog out or whatever it is you got to do. Jump on Twitter real quick and watch these sickos over here. And I say over here.
Shout out Pistons Twitter, baby.
Yeah, Pistons Twitter will be, if anything, I think it drives them more that it's at midnight.
For sure.
Because Pistons Twitter will be like, we're Pistons Twitter.
I'm going to go home, take a mean nap, and then be ready to go.
And be ready
Maybe
to
have a
rock.
cup of coffee
Spencer
at
will
like
be
11.
there. Chris will be locked in. What about you, Sam Flynn? Are you going to be locked in?
No, unfortunately, I will not. And one of the reasons is precisely because a guy like Kenny Lofton Jr. can body a guy like Chet Holmgren in a Summer League game. Kenny Lofton Jr. was undrafted, and he's going to be in the G League, and Chet Holmgren is going to be fighting for Rookie of the Year. A lot of what you see in the Summer League is not real.
Okay.
Fair. All right, fair. Let me tell you what is real. It's as real as it gets. MyBookie.com is the place to place your bets. Make sure when you sign up, use the promo code Woodward, and MyBookie will match part of your first deposit up to 50% in free bets. You can win big at MyBookie.com. I haven't seen if they have Summer League lines. I'm guessing no, because I haven't seen that anywhere. But hey, who knows? MyBookie.com. You can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a gambling problem? Be an adult. Call the Michigan Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Get on over to our friends at Big Frog and Novi. Get your free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right. A free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog and Novi. Just stop and tell them that Big D Energy or anybody at Woodward Sports sent you, and they will print you one on the spot. So go to Big Frog Novi today and get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter, Aaron Tackett at Summer League, Neil. And this is on our YouTube chat thread, by the way. You can tap in. Our social media handles are on the screen as well. Any way you want to get involved with the show, go ahead and do it. Do it.
I'm definitely going to be live tweeting that Summer League game tonight.
So follow your boy, Spencer Raxter. I will not be, so don't follow me. I will not be. Spencer Raxter will. Aaron Tackett at Summer League, Neil, calm down.
Yeah.
I just told
I will be up.
Yeah.
I will not be tuned in.
I'm not the one hype.
I may tune in to see what Spencer's doing.
There we go.
That's the whole thing too. Like you said, if you're up around that time, Pistons talk, you can check a Murph or Kool-Aid or Juicy or any of the guys here. They love it, and I love the passion.
I do
the same
too.
thing. It's just watching these guys get excited about it, and you know what? You're right, Flannel. As far as I saw it in the comment that the preseason and this rookie basketball is a lot in preseason in NFL. They're a lot the same, right? You get excited, you want to see guys in the jerseys, and
Until
a
you see it.
few plays in, and then you know what? You're not just as excited anymore. So you take it for what it is. Different guys that you see, you won't see. So, but I think that's what it is. Is it? You tell me. For me, it's seeing Jaden Ivey in a Pistons jersey.
Yes.
And that's the
guys
storyline.
in that uniform, because that makes it real.
Well, D-Mac, too, I think we've seen, like, with the advent of social media, right, where we speak in absolutes every single moment of our lives. There's no process. There's no letting things play out. There's none of that. You have to make an instant decision on where do you stand right there. So tonight, the Shaden Sharp versus Jaden Ivey camp starts right away, and it starts, and you're either justified or you're wrong.
Yeah, I saw a Kings Twitter posted like Keegan Murray has 58 more points than Jaden Ivey does in the summer league already. #bust.
Yes, yeah, that's pretty good. But that's what we do now.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a coincidence that we've seen really summer league take off as social media has taken off, because it's the classic, right? It's the classic instant overreaction to everything that's happened.
No, it's
because let's be real, D-Mac, tonight the legacies will be defined. Shaden Sharp, Jaden Ivey, who's the punk and who's the man.
Fact.
We settle this tonight. At midnight.
Super Slam.
Isn't that when all the big showdowns go down at midnight?
Oh, yeah.
We settle this tonight, D-Mac.
Nah,
We get all the answers to all the questions. Can Jaden Ivey play? Was Shaden Sharp the pick? Was Jaden? We're going to find all the answers tonight. This is a decision Thursday between the Tigers playing the Red Sox, where if they win, they are back in the Central League race, Central Division race.
Is that what happens if you confirm a sweep with a one win over big
You're back.
team? Then you're back.
You're back in. You're back in the Central race.
It's the confirmation.
It is a decision Thursday here in the Detroit sports scene, is it not?
It is. Can Jaden Ivey play? Will be defined tonight. You know, because we've seen greats like Henry Ellenson, go out there and just put up numbers in the summer league, and obviously, his career flourished. So, anything like that, we've seen guys like Trae Young. Who's that?
Who's that guy?
Do nothing in summer league, and obviously, he's going nowhere in the NBA. So, it's all about tonight.
What about this? Rack says, get to see the start of the Luka Garza revenge tour for the Blazers tonight as well.
He's on the Blazers,
It's
too?
dripping with storylines. All of it.
Like, how can you not?
Everybody in the YouTube chat thread, give me your overblown storyline for Summer League. I mean, just way over the top. I'm in that kind of mood right now. I'm feeling kind of goofy
I like
about
the
it.
Luka Garza revenge tour.
That's an angle right there.
One, yeah.
That's an angle. Tammy Chin says she is not excited or pumped about the summer league. But Tammy gets the NHL draft tonight, so she's ready. And we will find out, can Steve Yzerman solidify the direction he's taking the Detroit Red Wings in with this draft tonight? If he takes a smaller center, D-Mac, I don't know. I don't know about his ability to draft. Maybe he's losing it. I don't know.
That used to be the old NHL Neil. Now the smaller center, if his name's Johnny Gaudreau, you'd be fine, right? If you drafted him.
I don't know, D-Mac.
You're gonna get
a big night for Steve Yzerman.
But everybody's got their thing, right? Tammy's got her thing, and everybody who's heading down to LCA, everybody's got their thing. And it just, as long as we understand if there's a process to it, but you can get a little bit of a look behind the curtain and get excited, but it is what it is.
Epic says, I live for Summer League. Duran's MVP says LFG. People are locked. Let's put it in. Are you watching tonight at midnight? Are you watching NBA Summer League at midnight tonight?
Why are you saying it like that?
What?
I don't like the tone.
Yeah, the tone. Yeah,
you people and your tone.
Hey, Spence. The question is how many. The question is whether to follow or not. The interest is how many summer shandies go into before. Will there be maybe not the dozen, but is there a possibility that a good 3, 4, 4 to 6?
No doubt. Yeah.
4 to 6. So he'll be permeated.
I might hit Coonan before the summer league. After the NHL draft party, for the summer league, make a stop at Coonan, get a couple dribbles in me.
A couple growlers, bro.
Maybe grab a growler for the road.
I'd tune in to the Twitter follow later on tonight then.
It's going to be good.
Donnie M says the Red Wings need to draft a center if they want to win a Stanley Cup this year. See, that's what I'm talking. What are your declarations for Decision Thursday? Give it to me. Show us. Yo, let us know.
I'm going to say Killian Hayes is going to be an all-NBA defender in 2 years.
There you go.
Based on what he does tonight.
And it starts tonight.
Yes.
It's all his entire career will be shaped tonight at midnight.
He's going to put Shaden Sharp in a plastic bag and walk him down the court.
Now, my question,
locked to him.
My question is it because and breaking it down because of Pistons, is it because of we get like this because of excitement? Is it because we're excited of what's happening? Because we don't believe fully that the Tigers are back, so our focus won't be there.
Well, that's
but
on you. I can't help you if you ignore math and you can't see what's happening. That's on you. That's on you. Hey, that's on you people out there. You know.
But I think it's exciting to see guys. It'll be interesting to see what guys look like in the uniform.
Tammy Chin says, I would rather follow Spencer and Kool-Aid at midnight than the game. So there you have.
That's
fair. Deaton Sports, since Jalen Duren is confirmed, I'm watching it.
And to D-Mac's point, it is that hype. We're going to have a bunch of guys in the Summer League playing that we're going to see in the regular rotation this year. So I want to see how Duren and Ivy look. I want to see how Livers has improved, how Killian and Beef Stew are going to look. So
defining moment for Beef Stew.
Yes. Can he hit a three? Can he shoot?
All based
40%?
on tonight. What happens tonight?
Exactly. Starts tonight.
I think you bring up a great name there. A great name that Isaiah Livers.
Yes.
Right? Healthy this year. Going in. These are the guys that you look to him. You know, maybe, not to me like a Beef Stew because he's played in the league a little bit, but an Isaiah Livers because if he's healthy and he's hitting and he can be that spot-in guy that can hit those shots and stuff like this Michigan kid could be, you know, one of those wild cards, one of those, you know, grind line type guys that can fill that void in that role. That's what I would be looking for. Those are the questions that I would ask you. It's not the high profile guys, the names that we know or whatever. It's is there somebody there that we've seen something maybe at the end of the year, and Livers comes to my mind because of being injured, sort of seeing something, doing the G League, doing what's needed to be done. I mean,
and we'll have the answer tonight,
and we
will know.
So there it is. There's mine. Is Isaiah Livers?
Is he legit or no?
Is he?
We find out tonight.
Is he that role-playing guy that you know every championship team or every winning team needs?
So according to Darren McCarty, Isaiah Livers' career is at stake tonight.
Yes, there you go.
You know, is Cameron McGusty the second coming of Michael Jordan? Like we're gonna find
out
tonight.
We'll know that. We'll know the answer to that 10 minutes into the game.
And that's the listen. I know that's who Spencer's watching. He's praying. He just wants a jersey. Please make the opening roster.
I want a McGusty jersey so bad.
You know what? I think you should get one anyway.
Yeah, I might.
If he doesn't make the team, if he does make the team, whatever.
Make the McGusty 69 jersey on the create your own jersey.
Oh my God.
Big body bands.
Of course.
I used to McGusty.
AC says, "Oh yeah, we're turning up. Stop hating, Neil. This is like midnight madness."
There we go.
To us all. Aaron Tackett, because it is the NHL draft tonight. We'll talk about it a little more in detail in the second hour. Aaron Tackett, D-Mac says, D-Mac, can we get a Yzerman, Yzerplan real quick?
Yzerman, #Yzerplan. Let's go. Yzerman, #Yzerplan. Just get on board. Just listen, this is what you need to do. You just can, if you're going to get out of your seat and move up to see what's going on and see what these guys are doing tonight, please take a view. Take a front row view. And then get back in your seat and let the guys do do what they do, right? #Yzerplan.
1919. That was my favorite part of that one. 1919.
Yzerplan, Yzerman. 1919. Let's go.
It never gets
One
old.
thing I know for sure. 1919. Steve Yzerman. The #Yzerplan.
As you know, we do the show from the Planet Fitness studios. I got my Planet Fitness hat on, as a matter of fact, and it's home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership starts at just $10 a month for access to your home club. Black card option out there as well, just $24.99 per month. And that includes use of all the amenities, everything that Planet Fitness has to offer, and access to over 2,000 Planet Fitni, that's plural for Planet Fitnesses, worldwide with unlimited guest privileges. You can join today in club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home, or you can go to planetfitness.com and join right now. It's Planet Fitness, D-Mac, where your fitness
is essential. We're doing bags today. We're doing bags today. We're doing bags today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, sorry about that. Gave you 2 stinkers yesterday. But we'll get hot. We'll get right back on it here in a second. But first, you guys got to download that app, oddstrader.com. Listen, it's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. Hey, let's get back to getting hot. We need some more fun coupons. Fun coupons are what we're here after. But listen, we're going to roll with the White Sox. Tigers, 6-20 in their last 26 games in Chicago. Dylan Cease owns the Tigers. We're just going to roll with that. Oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Darren McCarty here for Alta Equipment. At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything that you need to get the job done. Do you have a bog project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. So call them today. Alta, go call 844. Go to Alta. That's 844. Go to Alta. Tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel as well.
You don't wear glasses, do you?
No.
None of you guys wear glasses. Okay, so sometimes when you're trying to like read and then you get it in between a read and then you lose your spot, so you read the same way. Anybody? Just a glasses issue. These guys don't understand. That's all it was.
Well, no, D-Mac, we weren't drafted 30 years ago, so no, we're not to that stage yet.
Like, I'm not mad at it. I'm happy I survived. But 30 years ago, right? I mean, here's how old I am, Neil. The old Montreal Forum. The old Montreal Forum. One of the original 6 buildings is where I was drafted in. So I'm old. Anyways, on to more exciting things.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, as promised, we're joined by the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. He is Jason Langwell, kind enough to take some time to join us here on Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. And Jason, you know, it's hard to believe, man, but less than 30 days, everything kicks off at the Detroit Golf Club. And remember, you can get your tickets at rocketmortgageclassic.com. But Jason, you guys were kind enough to have some of us out from Woodward on Media Day. And, you know, we got a chance to look behind the curtain, as it were, and see everything that goes into it. And I marvel at this, right? You see everything that's going on, but you guys are just about ready to rock, aren't you?
We are. Yeah, hard to believe inside of, it's 19 days now. Who's counting? Until our 4th event. But we're ready to go. The build's coming up great. The golf course is in the best.
Nope, we get a lock up there.
Yeah, we got a lock up.
Okay, Spencer will get that handle. He'll get that under control. We'll get Jason back with us. But again, rocketmortgageclassic.com. That is the web address for the tickets. But D-Mac, you know, and Jason, as we get them back up here, you know, it's one of those things where, again, local product, local tournament going on. The crowds have showed out, D-Mac.
No, they definitely have. And I think that what Jason was mentioning is the first I think we got it back. So, maybe not. First 4 years, right? This is the 4th year of it, which is sort of crazy to think about. But it's all the work you mentioned in going into it, getting the golf course ready. You got to remember also, too, being in the city is that PGA Tour courses have to be a certain length. Right, you have to be able to play to a different yardage. And what amazes me about this Donald Ross course in Detroit Golf Club, who we've played, and this is awesome for any golf person that's played this course and watching what these professional golf players are going to do to it, is the scores that they shoot on it. Because to me, you know, Detroit Golf Club, when they get it set up immaculate to PGA standards, and these guys are still shooting what Bryson DeChambeau, where he was hitting his drives, compared to where you see some of the best, you know, players that you know hit their drives on a Sunday compared to out hitting at 70, taking different lines. You know, it's just, and it's cool because for the most part, you only see these guys on TV or when you're traveling. So to be able to touch them up close, it's pretty cool. But it goes into all the work behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we have Jason Langwell back here with us. But Jason, I'll pick it up where we left off there. I mean, all that work and everything culminates, and as you said, 19 days away. But you guys are ready to rock, aren't you?
We are ready to rock. The build's up. It's the best build we've ever had, our largest. We've got a ton of new fan zone areas out there, bigger hospitality structures. And the field has just come together incredibly, having some of the top, this is the best field we've ever had thus far. Some past major champions, some former world number ones. Got a guy, Patrick Cantlay, the reigning FedEx Cup champion and player of the year. Adam Scott, a bunch of first-timers too, which we're excited about. Adam Scott coming in, Matt Kuchar, Justin Rose. Gary Woodland's playing really well this week over at the Scottish. Excited to have him back. So promises to be the best event we've ever had.
And Jason, what about that too? And look, I'm not going to ask you to speak for other people because I don't believe in doing that. But when you look at everything that's been going on with the Live Tour, and they also have an event, it's amazing to me, Jason, that through all that's going on around the world of golf right now, this is the best field that the Rocket Mortgage has ever put together. You guys over there at the Detroit Golf Club for this tournament, you guys took your game to a whole new level too, because as you talked about, you have former world number ones, you have reigning FedEx Cup champions as well. I mean, this is arguably the best field the Rocket Mortgage Classic's ever had.
Yeah, it really is. Our deepest. I think we've got over 30 players now in the top 70 in the FedEx Cup year to date, more than we've ever had. Approaching, over almost 30 now players in the top 100 of the world. We're not done yet, right? There's another inflection point, decision-making point for players coming out of the British, the Open Championship, where we hope the field will only continue to improve, as it did just this last week with some announcements we made. But yeah, just persistency and consistency of recruiting. Getting more players that come here every year that then go have those conversations in the locker room and then meet up with me and Casey Herbis and others that are out recruiting on the range, telling not just the story of Detroit Golf Club, but the story of Detroit and Dan Gilbert, everything that they've done here to revitalize the city. It's just all of those little things, those inches, as Rocket talks about, that we find are adding up now and producing the best field we've ever had.
Yeah, I think that's something that's unbelievable is the fact that it's not just about the golf, it's about the city and it's about the people, and to that extension it shows you how Rocket Mortgage is viewed in the golf. I'm more what I love about it, you mentioned the 313 zone and you mentioned that you've expanded more fan interaction. Can you expand on that for some of the people, or just tell them what they're in for if they haven't been down there? I know I get my picture every year beside the big T that looks like the trophy and all the different things that you have, but I think to people who haven't been to this event specifically, you guys do a job. So tell people what they can expect, maybe some of the new things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we try to make it more than just a golf tournament, whether you're a fan of golf or just a fan of some good old summer fun. That's what we have in store for you. And the Area 313, which is, kind of the area code of our signature area, holes 14, 15, 16, big, massive build out around the entire property, around those three holes. We've also added two new fan areas, a place called the Area 313 Grove, which will be on the golfer's right at 14, a nice shaded area where you can kick back, relax, grab a craft cocktail or a soda, something to eat, and then you can make your way behind the 15th hole and behind the Mick Ultra.
No worries. I know where you're going to be, Neil.
Yeah, you know exactly where I'm going to be.
So 14. So you've moved from sitting in between, because a lot of people, if you don't know the 313, and they have such a great, it's not a gimmick, it's such a great event that if throughout the tournament, if anybody golfer in the field makes an eagle, a 3 on the
par 5,
the par 5, then follows it up, makes an ace on the par 3, and then makes a birdie on the next hole throughout the weekend, the money goes to charity and stuff like that. So it's always been interesting to see if guys can do that. If you played that par 3, I like that par 3, right? It's only like a 9-iron, maybe a wedge or whatever, 140 yards.
Yeah.
But they do a great job. So anybody, I know where to find Neil. I know where to find Spencer too.
Well, it can be confirmed. He talked about the Mick Ultra Zone. That was where I was posted up last year during the Rocket Mortgage Classic when we went out. So that is certainly somewhere that you can find me. But I mean, D-Mac, again, for me, it goes back to the field, right? Because as we get Jason Langwell back in here, Jason, we talked about everything that goes in and around in the 3-1-3 zone and stuff like that, but I think the coolest thing about this, and you guys talked about this on Media Day, and I really wanted to bring this up with you because the tech hubs in Detroit and the Rocket Mortgage Classic and everything that's going on with Dan Gilbert and stuff like that, the city of Detroit itself, I think this gets lost sometimes because we talk about wanting to make things better for the residents of Detroit. From a technology perspective, the city of Detroit may be behind some other areas, but the Rocket Mortgage Classic really has shed a light on that and has made a difference because, look, technology needs to be available to everyone. I think we've learned that through these past couple of years.
That's right, and that's what we've done here. When we since 2019, we raised over $5 million for nonprofits throughout the city of Detroit. Over $3 million since we launched our Changing the Course initiative to end the digital divide in 2020. And as you said, we made some really exciting announcements on Media Day to help get 313 connected. The Connect 313 Fund, in partnership with the City of Detroit, the Rocket Gaming Fund is launching 17 new neighborhood tech hubs before the end of the year. And that's all a result of the dollars that we're raising through this event. It's important for fans to recognize they're having a good time, having a soda, having a drink, having a dog. Those dollars are going towards ending the digital divide in Detroit. We'll be up to, I think, 22 now neighborhood tech hubs across all of Detroit. We'll have one in each of Detroit's 7 council districts as well. So just going to give everyone citywide access to, what we'll call trusted community spaces that provide internet connectivity and technology and digital literacy programming. And so it's a great mission. It's the reason we do what we do. And we're not done yet. We're at 67.5% of Detroit residents now being digitally included. We're not to 100% yet, but we're on that mission. We're going to get there.
And Jason Langwell, Executive Director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Very, very busy guy right now getting ready for everything that's going to be going on at Detroit Golf Club coming up just 19 days away. Remember, rocketmortgageclassic.com. Get those tickets. And Jason, lastly, before we let you go here, the crowds, right? I think people wondered about that when this whole thing started, and then you guys had to deal with the COVID situation. So you've continually had to circle back with everything that's been going on. But the one constant has been this. When I go down there on the weekend, there are tons of people there. This is a well-attended event. People show out. Michigan, probably one of the best golf states in the country. People are supporting this, and they're supporting this in very large numbers.
They really are, and we're on that same pacing again this year that we were in 19 when we sold out the weekend. And, this is a community that not only wants to celebrate golf and loves golf, but they love Detroit, and I feel like that's what we've been able to do, albeit differently every year. We like to say here we've had kind of 3-year ones, and now here in our 4th year, we're going to have our first 2nd year. So, a lot of the ideas and the stuff that we've been able to do were ideas, like this community day, Detroit, that DT Energy has, where fans can come out for free on Tuesday and Wednesday to watch all of our special events. Everyone can come out, park for free, attend for free. It's about being accessible, about being inclusive, and creating a true Detroit experience. And that's why I think fans come out and enjoy it. And we'll have 156 of the best players in the world that they can see and get a front row seat right up on the rope line and enjoy our 4th event, which, we just couldn't be more excited is right around the corner.
All right, well, Jason, as always, appreciate the time. In our YouTube chat thread here that's going on, everybody's talking about the Rocket Mortgage Classic, kind of linking it with the Detroit Grand Prix, and so you guys have become a fabric event of the city of Detroit, so well done, and I know that you guys will keep it pushing, no doubt.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you out here.
Absolutely.
Right,
we will be there. Jason Langwell, Executive Director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Spence, big time, man, coming through some of the tech difficulties there, internet difficulties and all that stuff. You're the guy, man. You're the guy, Spence.
I appreciate it.
He is the dude. But again, they do it. And that's the thing, at Media Day when they talked about that, D-Mac, we forget that, right? And, we go to these events in the cities, and it is about going to see PGA golf, and it is about having a drink, and it is about, meeting up with friends and having a good time. But through all that, some of the challenges in Detroit. There's technological challenges. Rocket Mortgage Classic's trying to fix that.
Thing that Jason said, and they stick by, and I think from the top, from Dan Gilbert and Rocket Mortgage, is that the digital divide is huge. Now it's up to 60-some%, and they're not done yet. So when you go down and you want to say, how can I help out? How can I do my part? If you're traveling in, if you want to go do this, it's a win-win in my opinion, because they do a heck of a job giving it away. I've seen, the presentations, and it's just given that opportunity, and it's nice to see they're doing their part. So you want to do your part, get down there, go to the Michelob Light, have a cocktail.
Come say hi. I'll have a drink with you.
He'll be how many mulligans deep? That's going to be an over-under. Wow. Wait till that show. But, no, awesome what everybody at Rocket Mortgage and everybody involved, Detroit Golf Club, making this event happen. And I think what you nailed, right? Fabric of the city.
It is.
When he brings up the Grand Prix, now we can have this golf. And the fact that it was very important to keep it inside the 313.
And the people had to execute it, right? Like, you look at what Jason Langwell's done.
Not easy to execute it in the worst time. And you mentioned up a great point. Think about this, is that as an athlete, it speaks volumes with everything that's going on around and the options you have, but you choose to be here in the city of Detroit.
And some of the best players in the world, maybe the best player in the world right now as far as FedEx Cup and everything like that with Patrick Cantlay. So, again, just ask, even if you're not the biggest golf person, the access you get to these guys is unmatched. Like, you could literally, as far as DMAC and I are sitting from each other, you can watch these guys. It's like sitting courtside at the NBA. It's exactly what it's like.
Kevin Kisner's going to be there, and I'll be trying to swap, see if hey, Kiz, you need a dip, bud? Here, just in case he runs out.
Low-key, Kevin Kisner's my guy.
Kiz is my guy, dude.
He's
a
everybody's
grinder.
guy.
Just battles. So
love that guy.
But that'll be one, like, to be able to go walk around and see a guy that you root for and just hit the golf ball the way it's supposed to be hit. Right, Neil? Just watch these guys just hit these shots that it's like, okay, now I know.
Now I know. Now I understand. We will take a break. When we come back, there's a Lions list that Dan Campbell made that I want to discuss when we come back, because it's something where it was pretty sobering, and I can understand where they were coming from. I'll explain after I tell you about, speaking of the golf course, the official drink of summer is here. The Mulligan, made with Gypsy Vodka. Whether you're out on the golf course or you're hanging out in the backyard, the Mulligan is calling your name. It certainly is the play. Ask for the Mulligan at your local golf course or at a Total Wine store near you. And don't forget about the classic Gypsy Vodka itself. Goated on the sticks, as my son would say. That's what Gypsy Vodka is. Go to the store, ask for it by name. It's Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it, you've heard of it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play. We could stay there open until close, have a good time. They also have private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You can bring in your own food. You can do whatever you want. If you get thirsty, they have a $2 mystery beer vending machine. You pop in $2, pops you out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. Know what you want to make a decision. They have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down, check them out in Hamtramck at the Fulling Warehouse, or visit them online at fullingwarehouse.com. Again, that is fullingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter is getting a workout in there on the technical side of things. We got Sam Flannel as well. Happy to have you all with us. Remember, drop a message in that YouTube chat thread. We will get to those, like this one here from the away fan. Neil, can you please explain the shirt and why you're not wearing a Wings hat today? Well, the away fan, the T-shirt itself, pretty good friends with Emily Walden, who is a baseball writer at Baseball America, covers minor league baseball. Recently was diagnosed with cancer, so she's going through that whole circle right now, doing a great job, staying up in the fight and everything like that. RotoWear came out with these shirts to kind of support Emily, and some of the proceeds went over there to help her with everything that is going on with that. So just solidarity with Emily, and as she gets better, we certainly will get her on the show. And now every now and then, and we go through this, and this is where I have to get Emily on the shows that I'm doing, because D-Max got me bummed, and I have Emily come on, and she makes me feel better, at least for the day, So, that's one of the things that, and we'll get Emily on the show, certainly as she continues her fight and everything that's going on. But her last checkup, everything looked like it was on schedule, so big props to Emily. And we'll get her on the show, certainly, coming up in just a little bit. But, yeah, that's why, the away fan, that's why I do wear this show periodically. Why are you not wearing a Wings hat today? We are live at the Planet Fitness Studios, home of the judgment-free zone. Planet Fitness Studios, Woodward Sports. Plus Matt, my guy over at the one on Maple Road, is my dude. And he's a pretty cool cat, and I like working out at Planet Fitness. So how about that?
There you go.
How about that? Did want to talk about this. And Dan Campbell, a recent ranking system of the NFL head coaches came out. And, they ranked every roster. They ranked the head coaches as well. We'll talk about the Lions with the 28th ranked roster, which I think is a little low. But then we go down that wormhole of everything that goes on with this. But the quote was, "Detroit won't like this because he took the nickname Dan the Man to new heights. But energy doesn't equate to wins," and that came courtesy of CBS Sports. And D-Mac, look, here's the deal. I get caught up in the hype train like everybody else does. But the bottom line is this. The record's the record, and until the record changes, D-Mac, that's going to be the perception, because you are what your record says you are in the terms of this ranking. Do I think 30 is way too low? Yes, I do. However, D-Mac, make no mistake, this is a big season for Dan Campbell.
Bigger than most.
I think bigger than we even realize right now.
And I think we'll understand more of the gravity as this team gets put together. But look at the conversation we had yesterday about the highest priced offense in the league, right? And where did we say that? We weren't mad at that. It's not wasted talent. It's not talking about money on there that is not valuable, because it's mostly on our offensive line, right? 3 win. He's coming. What is it? What is his record, or what are his stats? He's a 3-win coach. 28's high, right? What have you done for me? Prove. Now,
show us.
Now, here's the thing. Dan Campbell, if you look at that list, to me, can move up the most. Has the potential. His ceiling might be the highest, because he could move into the top 10 with a playoff performance this year to what he does. But now it's about winning games, right? The culture, the attitude, the Dan the Man, the Motor City, the MCDC, the whatever we want, the kneecaps and stuff like this. Yes, we've established, because these guys play hard for him, so he's got that respect. Now it's him, Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, defense coordinator, Brad Holmes getting the guys in here. Now they got to put wins on the board. Now, 3 wins to 6 wins, that moves him up to me into probably 20-something. Right? You start, 7-8 wins. So it's all at the end of the season is where he's at. But I don't think that's a slap in his face. I think that's just the reality of what the comment said, right? Okay, you got a good team. He can move up the highest, I think, out of a lot of those coaches.
And I know too, like I said, we get the hopium flowing, and the new season's getting ready to go and everything like that. But we do have to remember that. And I bet you Dan Campbell will be the first one to tell you, because I found that coaches, professional athletes in general, D-Mac, and you probably share the sentiment. You tell me if I'm way off here, if you kind of agree to it. That is what I do enjoy about professional sports. There's no hiding, man. You are what your record says that you are. There's no because of this or if that or any of this. you are the W's and the L's that are next to your name. There's no other judgment. There's no other barometer.
At the end of the day, that's how you're judged, right? That's how you're judged, or else you're on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. So he's got some time, Dan Campbell does, but can he put that offense to use? We're talking about all the weapons he has. Now it's about putting the defense together. So, you got to expect at least this team to be, we were talking about yesterday, you're talking about a 10-win team. I'm saying let's start, at 6. Start at 6 and go from there. That's sort of where Vegas has it, right, moving forward. But, and I don't know if it's pressure because it's just the execution of the game plan and the talent arise. I think we can agree that the talent on this roster is a lot better than it was where he's at a year ago.
Yeah, which is fair to say. No question about that. But still, nationally, not here, you look around and you see what the story is. And, I don't think it's – and I know we get upset with these types of things here, right? Dan Campbell's 30th rated NFL coach. That gets us upset.
But do you get – see, I'm not upset because it's one of these things is that, wait till next season. This is the prove it year. We're only going up. I think you get upset in lists when you know there's no hope, right? The fact is that, that list with Alavila as the worst, he's never got a chance to move up.
Well, you look at what happened with Cade with Rookie of the Year last year, right? Like we were hot. And there's hope with that.
But that's different. That's different because Cade had stats. Cade did things that no other rookie had done. Cade did things that put him in the same sentence as Michael Jordan. That's different. Dan Campbell hasn't done anything, so it's 3 wins, right?
And that's fair. The away fan says, right, Neil, we do the show every day at the Planet Fitness Studio. The draft's 2 days a year. I've never seen you wear a Red Wings hat, come to think of it. Hey, the away fan, I rock the Sergei Fedorov NHL 94 T-shirt. There's not a better T-shirt in the Red Wings T-shirt game than the Sergei Fedorov NHL 94.
Yep.
Even popped D-Mac a little bit.
It did. Love it.
That's hype, okay? So, I get the representation.
We don't have a Red
in
Wings
there.
hat that can fit his head. We're still looking.
Man.
No,
it sounds like my wife stepped into the studio.
Knowledge, bud. They don't deserve.
Okay, big brain.
Big brain.
Okay.
Big
I
brain.
like that.
They don't,
I like that better.
And they're not winning. Yeah, exactly.
No, I do. I like
man,
that
I always
better.
Got your back.
We got our Lions guy Corey Woods here in the studio, so we're gonna chat with him for a minute about all this that's going on with the list. After I tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency, they help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse disorder. Their podcast is called "This Is the F Word" to help spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions that are plaguing our communities. Go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling, or if you know someone that's struggling. Let's quit with the games. Thesportsma.com. And Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Neil Rule here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity, play-by-play updates, live scores, and here's the best part, everybody. The best price on every game for multiple sports books. It's right there on your screen. So here's an idea. Why would you lay $175 when you could get it at $155 at a different sports book? You wouldn't. That's what oddstrader.com can do for you. Go to oddstrader.com right now and find your best bet. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, our YouTube chat poll. We can close this one out. Are you watching the Summer League tonight at midnight? No, 51%. And the Pistons, folks, had to rally, too. That was 66-33 when it started. Over 200 votes. You know you got a good one when it's 50-50 through 200 votes, man. You do. You watching Sam Flannel?
No, but if it was at 7 or 8 o'clock, I might tap in, and I will watch the highlights the following morning just to see what went on, but it's just too late. And like I said, so much of what happens in the Summer League is just not real. And that just kind of takes the allure away from it for me.
There you go. So, and I think your sentiment is shared by a lot of folks. And look, big Pistons guy, work for the Pistons from time to time. Midnight's a stretch, man. It just is. Now, if it were a regular season game, well, it wouldn't be starting at midnight. It would be 10:30 at the latest. So I would watch it.
Still, though, 50-50 people are hyped.
Yeah, they are, man. No, you're absolutely right. But speaking of hyped, I'm always hyped when our Lions guy, Corey Woods, joins the show here on Big D Energy. And, Corey, you came sprinting into this studio. And I've seen you at Planet Fitness before. I know that you get it in. You came sprinting into this studio. This Dan Campbell, 30th ranked coach stuff. Your thoughts?
Well, first off, I always want to do this. This is for D-Mac. Finally, I've come back to Studio A and Big D Energy. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So, what's the problem? He's ranked the 30th best coach in the NFL. Rankings can change, but I think it's apropos. The Lions were 3-13-1 last year. They started out 0-8. The only games they won last year were their final 3 home games, and throughout the season, Dan, up until they start, they got the tie, I guess you can say. Throughout them first 8-9 games, they were a team that looked lost. Now, granted, they did have a lot of injuries go down. They lost pretty much their top 3 wide receivers by week 2. And they had a bevy of injuries. And there were times that Dan Campbell did look in over his head. However, he did adjust towards the end of the season. And just because they went ahead and won, they looked better towards the end of the season, they still end up picking number 2 in the NFL draft. So, I think right now the record is, ranking him as the 30th best coach. I don't think that's an unfair ranking, just giving how the totality of the season played out. That doesn't mean that he is like those coaches are better than him. There have been coaches that probably have had better luck than him last year. So, again, it can change. Just because he's ranked right now as the 30th best coach doesn't mean that is really who he is. You just have to go off of what the results are.
Here it is. If I'm Dan Campbell, I think I'm an 18 handicap, and you're giving me a 30. So I get a 12 extra shots to work with. That's how I look at it. I look at it that from perspective from the outside. And Corey's exactly right. Right? There's a difference between the beginning of the year, Dan Campbell, who we saw sort of find his way into his coaching role. It was tough. He persevered. I mentioned it to you all the time. You searching for your first win down there, but you and Dan Campbell were a lot alike, and then you persevered. And then at the end of the day, Neil always says that the Pistons could be better eyeball tests, but the record not be better. I think that's impossible for the Lions. Now, at the end of the year, yes, they were a better team. The record didn't show it. They got the 2nd overall pick. Aiden Hutchinson could be the 12th sack guy that Sam says he's going to be moving forward. Now, with the team that he has and the coach that we expect him to be, the coach he expects himself to be, next year I expect him to be in the top 20.
And that's a fair expectation.
And that's where I think us as Lions fans, we don't take the disrespect because we understand why we're getting disrespected, or if that is a disrespect. But is that a disrespect, or is it that, hey, coach, the rest of the league thinks you're here, or whatever like that, we need to win some games? He'd be the first one going, we got to go to work, right?
Yeah. And I don't think it's a slight. I think if, let's say, instead of 3-13-1, let's say the Lions went. Let's say they went
6-11.
Yeah, 6-11. If he went 6-11, they have him ranked like 28th, 29th. Okay, then what the F? Come on. What are we doing here? But the guy, they went 3-13-1. They had the 2nd pick in the draft. The fact that they didn't have him ranked 31st out of 32 says something to me.
Right. And, Kevin Bell says he made major in-game mistakes early on, like calling the timeout after they sacked Baltimore and things like that. And it was
figured his way.
It was rough.
It was rough.
It was rough. That's a kind way to put it. It was rough at times, because I remember having moments last year where I was looking around going,
Right. Is he the guy? We're going to fire him? Is this just another?
No.
Is it that we do worse and stuff like that? Yeah, absolutely. But perseverance played through. And you know what, Corey? You were down there, but tell me, not once did the guys quit on him.
And
not once did his team quit on him, which is enabled. It was like they're sitting in the locker room going, wow, they see it. He's trying his best. He's trying to figure it out. Never coached before, been around and stuff like this, but they believed in him.
That's why the ranking doesn't bother me.
Yes.
That's why the ranking doesn't bother me, because the ranking is basically off of, okay, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately is 3-13-1. That doesn't mean that he's a bad coach. I think last year was some bad coaching. It was like, if you want to go 50-50, 40-60, whatever, it was part bad coaching, part bad personnel. This year, I believe they have a better personnel, so if they're anything less than 6 wins, then you're going to start wondering, like, okay, what the heck is going on here? Especially if they stay moderately healthy. Because on paper, on paper, they have the potential, not saying they are, but on paper, they have the potential to be the best offense in the NFC North. I'm not going to go whole NFC. NFC North, they have the potential to be the best offense because of their whole entire wide receiving corps, their running back tandem, and whether you like him or not, Jared Goff is an above average, and that's B+ game manager. So when you add all that together, I believe that that's going to take Dan Campbell from that 30th ranking and catapult him somewhere into the 25. Who knows on how the record goes? He may go a little bit higher, but don't get bent all the shape over the rankings. Like D-Mac just said, last year, everything started off the rails, and then it started to pick back up. So I think that they kind of like maybe tried to average it out a little bit, and that's how he wound up at 30th and not maybe 31st. But don't pay too much attention to the rankings. I think it's just just based off of last year.
Well, quick question. Dan Campbell, when he coached in Miami, was he interim coach?
Yes.
Interim.
So technically, an interim coach isn't he's the placeholder.
Yeah, more or
All right,
less.
Brandon,
more or less.
Just so you know, I knew he coached there, but it wasn't his team.
Yeah, this is his first time really behind the wheel.
Thank you.
Controlling every single thing.
Yeah, the operation runs through you, bro.
Yeah, like he's the guy. He's not the guy that stepping in, guiding the ship toward the end of the season, then hoping he gets called back. No, this is the guy that's hired. He's in his first hired head coaching position, having to take over a cluster, you know what, from Quinn Trisha. That's why I'm like, okay, you know what? This guy wasn't tasked with just turning the team around. He was tasked with turning around a culture, a damaged culture, and establish something that hasn't been. I'm kind of tongue-tied here, but he was charged with turning around a negative culture and then instilling a culture that the Lions have never seen.
Along with Brad Holmes being charged with turning around a negative salary cap situation and a negative draft equity situation, turning it into a positive. No, there is no doubt. Here's a cool one for you guys. Boring cool. Dan Campbell has the 4th best odds to win Coach of the Year at 14-1, only behind Staley, DeBall, and Peterson. So, you know, it's...
But there's room for yes.
I think
it is
like
because he's the upside of where he can go from and what's expected out of him. He's also got that multiplier. It's like diving, right? It's like diving. You get multiplication.
He's playing with house money. Now he has a better roster, hoping for better health. Just off of that alone, I'm thinking, let's say you get Dan Campbell. Let's say the Lions get 9 to 10 wins. I think he's going to get that Coach of the Year. Just off of what they had to start off with and what he's built?
I mean, and it's one of those things. You win 10 games, you're probably going to the playoffs. So
exactly.
if you get the Lions in the playoffs, you should have a statue built of you immediately. You know, there should be you could build a statue of every coach that took the Lions to the playoffs, and there'd be less statues than there are at Comerica Park. You know what I'm saying? Like that could just be the qualification, and that would be a very, very short row of statues. And look. These things are all true, okay? Brandon Katz says an interim coach makes decisions the same as a head coach. He was horrible in late game situations, made the wrong decision repeatedly, and does not understand situational football. And look, both things can be true, right? They got housed in some of those games at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah, like
and that did happen. And I know everybody focuses on the end of the year and what happened, but the beginning of the year did happen. You know, I know it is attached to the record. And that's what I'm saying. Look, I'm not trying to piss on everyone's parade or anything like that. I'm just saying I understand where CBSSports.com is coming from because it did happen.
It happened. You can't erase it. That's
Who's
why I said
offended by it, though?
Yeah. No, I mean, I just
saying a list that you're offended by.
No, and no, it's not. It's one of those things, dude. It's July in talk sports right now, so like I think it's interesting how this is what struck me about the topic was 30th ranked head coach to national people and stuff like that. But in Vegas, 4th best odds to be the coach of the year. So like when you ask the sub question, how fast can he climb the list? 3 months.
Right.
3 months he can climb that
Again, that's
list.
why I said I think it's just really just based off of last year. Like, okay, last year, based off of what you did, you were the 30th best coach in the NFL. But with what you have done what your team has done in the offseason, Vegas is looking at it like, okay, because of what the Lions did in the offseason and what we expect them to potentially do, he could be the one of those favorites to win Coach of the Year. We expect them to turn it around based on paper of what they have going into the season. So, like you just said, two things can be true. You can be the 30th ranked coach by CBS standards and it'd be valid, but you can also, by Vegas standards, be, hey, we expect you to turn it around this year.
Yeah, and both things can be true. Appreciate you sliding through, Corey.
Thank you.
Man, you came sprinting in here, bro.
I tried to sprint. I mean, I haven't been in the gym in about a week and a half, so I had to get a little bit of cardio in.
There you go. Well, hey, man, you'll be running back and forth down the park. It'll be popping soon. Corey will be a rumor soon, everybody, in a couple of weeks. The party time's over for him.
Oh, yeah.
Check him out at woodwardsports.com. So, yeah, man, when we come back, though, I do want to talk some NHL draft, shall we, D-Mac? People have been talking about it. We're going to talk about it. I want some people to educate me. And look, I'm a big OHL guy.
Right.
Big OHL guy.
As you should be. That's where all the best players come from.
That's fact.
At least back in the day. 30 years ago, anyways.
I was a big Connor McDavid slappy since the Erie Otter days.
Yes.
All right? Since he was with the Erie Otter. So I'm the OG of Connor McDavid. Alex DeBrincat was a big Alex DeBrincat. I was concerned about his size, but it seems to be working out just fine.
It seems to be working
him.
out in the new NHL.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Where'd it work out for you when you went and got a haircut today?
You know what? Absolutely. Walked in, check it out, said, hey, Jess, how you doing? You got some time? I got a show tonight. And she said, here, D-Max, just like everybody else, sign in, sit down. And before I knew it, sides were clean, sat down, King's treatment, everything like that. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, 168 of them around the country. Find yours. Open 10 to 8. 7 days a week. So thank you, Jess. Thank you, everybody. Lady Jane's, why? It's wicked awesome. Big D Energy. Be right back.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Garbage. They moved my team.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Big D Energy. Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, drafted in the NHL Draft 30 years ago this year. We have Sam Flannel. We have Spencer Raxter. We also have Michael Gentry here with us in studio. It is NHL Draft Day. And I think if anything that we've learned as a network here at Woodward Sports, and almost pushing up on a year since I've been on, but even going back, draft hope springs eternal, Michael Gentry. So, when you look at it from that perspective, some people are hype. I see it in the YouTube chat thread. They want to talk NHL draft. And look, I come clean. I am more of an OHL guy. And not to say, I don't miss a game or anything like that. It's just, when you look across the board, the thing that jumps out to me, Mike, is, the international presence that's in there right now. When you look across the landscape of mock drafts and things like that, you do have your OHL favorites that are up there as well. But the pendulum has swung more along the lines of an international thing right now. Do you think that's fair to say, Michael? Am I making too much of that?
No, 100%. As you can see with Steve Yzerman alone, he has his thing for his Swedish players. But as far as the NHL goes, everywhere, like people are pulling players from all different leagues, all different countries, everything. So from the OHL standpoint, it may have gone out of age right now. It might be out of their range. Might see some more in the future. But as of now, you're seeing players come from everywhere.
All right, let's break it down, Mike. He's obviously 8th overall pick. We had Daniela Bruce from the Wings on yesterday. Her and I both said, to quote Chris Draper, we're going to get a good player. This is one of the things. Are you more, from your perspective here, is Detroit going to circumvent, and are they looking for a specific player? Is there a guy that's going to fall to him? Drape says he's going to get a good player either way. What I know is probably Steve Yzerman's going to take best available off the board no matter what it is. So everybody wants that centerman guy.
Yeah.
Are you going to get it? Or because, as Daniela said yesterday, dropping down to 8, it's probably not that talented guy like the right at the top of the draft and stuff like this. What do you think right now? Is there a guy on that list that you say, hey, this guy's going to be Detroit Red Wing?
Mike, let me give this to you in our Judgment Thursday. If Steve Yzerman doesn't take a center, is the rebuild over? Is everything just falling apart and we're back to square one?
Not at all. These first 10 picks, you could say it's really deep in the center position, and a lot of them will fall off the board after that 8th pick. So I do expect them to go after a center. Matthew Savoy would be at the top of my list. There's mocks that have him as early as 3 and falling as early or as late as 8 to the Red Wings. So he would be at the top of my list. He's kind of like a Steve Yzerman guy. Steve Yzerman has drafted Braden Point. He's kind of got that similar body style to him, similar playmaking ability. So I would like him if somehow we did go with a center at 8. But I wouldn't. Steve Yzerman has drafted a defenseman with one of his first 2 picks in the last 3 drafts. And we desperately need a right-handed shot. Obviously, we have Mo Seider and Philip Hronik, but looking towards the future, you need another right-handed shot in the or as a D-man. So I would like to say they're going to grab a center, but it's not life or death if they don't. And there's a lot of talented wingers in this draft too, Lekkerimäki. So I wouldn't say it's life or death, but I would like a center.
Okay, right now, sort of gun to your head, who did you pick as the Wings taking 8th overall right now?
Matthew Savoy, that would be my guy.
That would be your guy?
my guy.
Okay, and same with that. The bigger question here that nobody's talking about. Okay, nobody's talking about. Now I got draft capital, salary cap guy right here.
That's the man.
Right, Steve Yzerman's got some of the most salary cap to play with, plus the draft capital. It's not even worth listing it off. There's so much. In saying that, do you expect maybe the moves to be made for the Wings and Steve Yzerman to be active like they have been in the past? Remember last year? Wasn't last year they picked up Alex Nedeljkovic for a 3rd and stuff like this?
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned this because coming out of Montreal, Kent Hughes, their GM, has said that they're not sure who they're picking first 3 overall. Now, you think it's Shane Wright, who's been highly touted since he's been 7 years old, along the lines of a Connor McDavid and stuff like this. But if he doesn't go, is there a possibility that one of these guys at the top is worth the Wings mixing some stuff up and trying to move up to that, or not in this draft?
I don't think so in this draft, especially if there's question marks with Shane Wright at 1. I don't think anyone's going to trade up like that. Obviously, I think Shane Wright is by far the best player in this draft. Logan Cooley right behind him. But I don't think the Red Wings are in that position to trade up or do anything like that just yet. Maybe next year. I don't even think they're going to go out and sign someone big this free agency. I think everyone they sign this upcoming season will be a cap-friendly deal, something that they kind of work towards if they want to be on this team a part of the future. Maybe next year would be the year, all the pieces are in place, and then you go out and sign that big contract. But as of now, I don't see them trading up. I don't see them signing a big contract like a Johnny Gaudreau or who else is out there? Like Chris Letang, he's getting older, but he's out there.
The age frame doesn't. When I look at the list of free agents, and I know everyone wants the big deal and they want the big contract, the age of the preeminent free agents that are out there do not fit the timeline right now.
But
There
here's
isn't one.
Right, that's the thing is who's the free agent out there, right? Who's Johnny Gaudreau's possibly going to get? I think the last offer in Calgary was 9.5, but they're talking about him getting 11 million on the open market. But I'm saying is first you have to identify who is that guy Steve Yzerman would give that money to. The other thing is there's different things going on because this is where the in-depth and where your capologist and the guy that knows how to move your money, because there are certain guys. And I mean by this, by a guy that comes to mind, right? You look at all the different teams, but you go into Colorado. Sam Girard's a guy who got hurt, a defenseman, a very, very good defenseman. Now, he was hurt during the playoffs, and it's allowed other guys to step up who will be more cap-friendly for Colorado and keeping that team together. But a trade to somebody who's already under contract might be out there. That's the one thing that we don't know about, that you could speculate who's got a year or 2 years left on a contract that Stevie wants to go out and get as a build. So, to me, I think listening to Derek Lalonde, the coach, is him preaching what was in Tampa, defense first, obviously starting the goaltender out. I like what he said, general managers manage, coaches coach, and players play. We haven't asked you, but your thoughts on the hiring of Derek Lalonde?
Oh, it's awesome. I love that Stevie finally got to go out and handpick his own guy, and it was a guy that he's familiar with, obviously. He brought him to Tampa. He has experience with the AHL, Toledo. He's got tons of experience growing young kids into players, and he has experience with winning at the highest level. So I think for him to go out and get his guy, that's all we could ask for at this point. And he seems like the perfect fit for this team.
Talking with Michael Gentry here on Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. It is NHL Draft Day. The people are hyped. The people are ready to roll. And I think no matter what happens, and I'm talking good or bad, Michael, like we'll have this with the Tigers draft. We'll have this with the Red Wings draft. You have this to some degree with the Pistons draft. And the NFL is a different animal. Like when you come in, you have to be ready to go. Steve Yzerman's very first draft pick he made, just won Rookie of the Year this year. So, the whole center thing, and people did this with the Tigers. And look, I'm never going to defend Al Avila. You guys know this, but people did this with the Tigers when they took Jackson Jobe. You need an outfield bat. You need a bat. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's what I think the flexibility with Steve Yzerman. I mean, we know Steve Yzerman's not going to do things just to do that.
I'm letting you go, and you put Al Avila's draft. You know what? The difference is that when three teams in this town draft, we get excited. When the other guy does, we're waiting for the sky to fall. And you know what? I disagree with that, because obviously, if he produced stuff in the past 8 years as drafting the way he did, so it obviously does matter because nothing happened.
But the point of the story is this, okay?
So the excitement to whatever
D-Mac, let me land the plane, bro. Let me land the plane here, all right? Let me land the plane.
Out of it.
Don't get out of your seat until the plane has come to a stop,
2 days
okay?
in a row, you got me knocked my car.
The FAA does not allow you to unbuckle your seatbelt until the plane has come to a stop on the runway. But there's D-Mac standing up when you're not going anywhere anyway, trying to get the luggage out of the overhead bin, but you're not going anywhere.
Going somewhere.
The moral of the story is this, Mike, is there will be a camp that doesn't like the direction they go. If they don't take a center, there will be that camp. And through it all, it doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. What it does matter is who this person chooses, because what he showed is his track record.
That's what matters,
right? And you can only go back. Somebody says on here, what's the past 5 years first rounders? You can only go to Steve Yzerman back to the first one and Mo Seider. That's where we had him ranked next question.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
So the fact that, you know what, you might have a guy that you might not know, and you better be happy about him, because you know what? I pretty much guarantee he looks at it the same way he's looked at Mo Seider. And that's what he's got going on. I see that mentality with Troy Weaver. I see that mentality with Brad Holmes.
Yeah. Like you said, Yzerman's resume speaks for himself. Who are we to question if he comes up here and picks up a guy that no one has on his board? Like he did it.
Well, I mean, you're going to keep questioning him. Keep on telling me how stupid you guys are.
Pull it off. You never know what he has up his sleeve. So, like I said, no one has the right to question Steve Yzerman moving forward. On
Yzerman, Hashtag Wiser Plan 1919.
You heard the man.
Yeah, you heard the man. Again, talking with Michael Gentry here for a few more minutes. People want to know, what do you got lined up for the draft tonight?
I'll be live here from the main stage with Adam Baydoun, 6:30 to 8:30. So come check us out. We'll be doing that leading up to the Wings' first pick. So yeah, we'll be breaking it down. Come check us out.
So you're looking center. If it were up to you, and depending on whose mock you look at, you're looking at Savoy, the center.
Yes.
The speed issue doesn't concern you at all, huh?
No, he actually was in what was it? I'm sorry, but I'm having a blank spot. He was actually in a prospects game or a prospects training thing, and they ran drills with and without the puck, and he placed first in every category. So I don't know where that knock's coming from.
Yeah,
his skating ability. And one thing, he's been skating his whole life. That is something that you can definitely improve on if that's a thing. But I'm not worried about that at all. And another guy I like is Cutter Gauthier. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, lefty. He's another center. He can play right wing, knows how to use his body. I think he may be one of the most NHL-ready players that you're going to get in the first round, because a lot of these guys are still young, 18, 19 years old. But he's another one that I would look at if he's available. If Savoy's not, I could definitely see him going there. So,
well, there you have it, Mike. Appreciate you sliding through, taking the time, and breaking it down for me. I'm not as in outside of the OHL guys, and this year I wasn't as deep in the OHL. But all I do know is when you look at those list of free agents after next year, my guy Alex DeBrincat's out there. That's all I'm saying.
That's your guy.
That's my guy, man. That's all I'm saying. Appreciate you, brother.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
NHL Draft Show. You said 6:30?
Yes, sir.
6:30 today, Woodward Sports for the NHL Draft Show. So they will be breaking it down. And, the audience here at Woodward, DMAC, if they've proven anything, it's that they like the draft, as we all do. I mean, it is. It's a lot of fun. Who doesn't like a draft? And who doesn't like Cintron? Because it's the summer of Cintron, and now it's available at your local Kroger store. Cintron's the new energy drink for the active lifestyle. When you're out grocery shopping, give it a spin if you haven't tried it yet. 2 cans, $4. They're proud partners of Little Caesars Arena, the Detroit Pistons, the Red Wings, the Tigers. It was available in the press box last night at Detroit City FC as well. Cintron. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Neil Rule here for Bedrock Detroit and the Monroe Street Midway in downtown Detroit. And look, we've talked about it now for a while here. If you're going downtown, the Monroe Street Midway is the spot. Basketball, food trucks, live music, art installations as well. You can get some culture. I know, God knows I need some culture. The Monroe Street Midway would be the play for me. Whether you're out on a date, hanging out with family, on your way over to the Tigers game, stop by the Monroe Street Midway right next to Campus Martius. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. The Monroe Street Midway, brought to you by Bedrock Detroit and Rocket Mortgage. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. D-Mac doing some house cleaning over there on his side of the desk. And D-Mac, look, we just talked to Michael Gentry about the NHL draft, but I think it's worth noting because you do want to give Steve Yzerman the flowers based on what he's done so far. And I'm the first one to raise my hand and say that last third of the season, last season, not what I was looking for, but it was addressed. That's all I'm looking for, D-Mac. That went a long way with me. And look, I'm not saying placate me and give me the pound of flesh. It showed me and it showed us it wasn't acceptable. What happened? Are they in a rebuilding stage? Yes, they are. But it wasn't acceptable what happened. It was addressed. Now we move on.
But at the right time. Right? The time. It's Steve Yzerman has that parental.
That goes a long way with me, D-Mac.
Yes,
it does.
because it's the whole thing is that when I said, okay, maybe I would have dealt with it differently or whatever, but he's going to deal with it when he thinks right then, end of the season, boom. What happened? When did he deal with the coach? He knew he wanted the coach and everything like that. End of the playoffs. The coach is still in the playoffs with the finals, and boom, then he hires his coach. Same thing he's going to do in free agent. If there's a guy out there that you think that he wants that he doesn't, you're not going to get it. And when we're looking down this free agency list, right, we mentioned, maybe a month ago during the playoffs, Nathan McKinnon's a free agent coming up next year. Well, he's going to re-sign. They're going to lock him in. It's just now that they won a cup, there's no reason that he's going to move on there. But the one guy to keep an eye on, and the guy getting shopped around now because he's got a year left on his deal, is Alex DeBrincat in Chicago. You mentioned him before from watching him in the OHL and stuff like that. The asking price seems to be too high around the league, but if they run that contract out, that's a guy I would expect Steve Yzerman to go after.
And here's where it is, too.
So it might not be this year, next year.
I know that we were talking about draft and stuff like that, but is it wrong for me, and I guess I'm going against the grain that everybody else shares, D-Mac, I'm literally interested in 0 of the free agents that are out there this year.
Me too.
0.0. So here's my deal.
There's a couple D-men that are out there, but knowing, looking at it like a Klingberg, right? But looking at knowing that the asking price or what the price is, I'm not interested.
Yeah, and see, that's where it is for me. I'm literally interested in nobody, but yet you have $36 million in cap space. So for me, I want to run the Nick Leddy play again, where you weaponize
Why wouldn't
the cap
you run
space.
it again and again and again and again until those guys are there? Because what happens when you run it properly, and this is what might happen, Neil, and it's playing out, especially if they do not dive into free agency this year, you're going to be able to dive in double dip, maybe even a triple dip into free agency to go get the top two of the top 5 or 3 of the top 5 guys, because the money will be there if your right guys are. Right now, it's just not to hand out money to hand out because you got pedigree and stuff like that. It's specifics, just like in the draft, best available talent. He knows what he wants. He's got a plan. We're just sitting behind, and he's letting us know how it plays out as he wants us to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, for me, that's just what it is. I'm not interested in any of those free agents out there, so I don't want to sign somebody just to sign somebody. And here's also the deal, D-Mac, with the way the labor situation works. If you are a free agent in the NHL, you are 28 years old. You are 27 years old. That's just the time frame.
Right.
We do need. It's very rare you catch that 25-year-old that's going into free agency, and you can become a prime player for him. But it's for the Red Wings, and Steve Yzerman, I think, was at the forefront of this. Again, weaponizing the cap space. Empty cap space is like a savings account, getting 0.01% interest. Why not weaponize that? Why not take on some bad deals?
If you're going to be idle, you look around and go, oh, okay, they're trying to do this. Here, I can add to my
and you'll know this,
right?
And for the fans out there watching, if you see them do like a Nick Leddy-esque trade, then you know. Then he's telling you exactly what it is.
Here's what it's coming down to, and it's been a long ways. Everybody knows that Steve Yzerman's number has changed to the 313. So sometimes maybe people don't answer calls.
Is he the Tampa Bay Rays of the NHL? Do you think that contact has been blocked by the other GMs?
I think some of them would like to. I think that if not,
as opposed to when Alavila,
I think right now they still know the water's not hot yet, but it's going to get to a point, right? More so than not, because I don't think that they're threatened as much by, by the win losses, by what they have, but in the next year or 2 years, as he builds this stockpile and as his team gets better,
people start blocking that contact. They'll start blocking that contact.
They start blocking. They start destroying. How do you get this number? Wow, destroy the phone.
As opposed to when Al Avila calls and they have it auto forwarded to every single phone that they own, the cottage house, the office, the cell phone.
There's no such thing as on vacation when Al Avila calls.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no such thing as sleep.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as anything, no matter what.
You're
in the middle of surgery, massive. You're getting a heart transplant.
The doctor's under orders to bring you back to take out the anesthesia, and you take that call. If you're hiking in the Antarctic, the call's forward routed to the satellite phone. Hey, Al Avila's calling. You pop up out of the snowbank and you answer that call. That's what you do.
To that point. Yeah.
That's exactly what you do.
Page.
And Tammy Chin says, I love Fleury, but I don't want to spend the money on him. And that's where I am. Brandon Katz says
you have no use for that.
Yeah, Forsberg isn't going to a rebuild, and those are the kinds of things too. And look, I like Forsberg as much as the next person does.
Philip Forsberg will re-sign with Nashville now that they brought Ryan McDonough over. The fact that Ryan McDonough adds in the same thing what he did to give that side saddle to Victor Hedman and allow Victor Hedman to move on. The same for Roman Josi. That move right there tells me that they're all in. Because how can you bring in 6.75 and the pedigree of Ryan McDonough and not have your best player if you're going to go all in? So look, Nashville, if you want to put money on somebody just because the odds are probably there, look at Nashville for next year, at least Western Conference, maybe Stanley Cup final.
All right, hey, it's summer. We do these types of things. Indulge me one time, D-Mac. Indulge me one time. Matthew Tkachuk, restricted free agent with Calgary. That's probably literally the only name that I would survey the scene on.
No, I mean, to me, you have to have insulation around him. The effectiveness, but for the price, don't get rid of Bertuzzi. For $3 million or whatever, $4 million or whatever Bertuzzi, $3.5, $4 million, whatever Bertuzzi is, instead of like the $6 million or whatever Tkachuk's gonna. I think Bertuzzi is a pretty good count. Now Tkachuk put up the points playing with Gaudreau and stuff like this, but again, it leads to our next week or whatever, or what's going on with Tyler Bertuzzi. There's decisions to be made. But I think Tyler Bertuzzi and Matthew Tkachuk are in the same conversation category piece.
Mike G says, rule breaker, $34 million in cap space, but doesn't Stevie know that D-Mac netted 55 goals in Belleville? We need goal scorers. Is there a D-Mac out there in the OHL right now?
Yeah, but you don't know.
30 years ago, there was.
They moved my team to Hamilton, or 30 years ago, stuff like that. Yeah, but they didn't need D-Mac to score goals. They need to find some goals now. They'll get there.
You're out tomorrow, D-Mac?
Tomorrow's Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're out tomorrow. Okay. I do want to get to this then, and it can spill over into the next segment. And I've been meaning to get to this. The Bertuzzi, since we're talking hockey, why not? It's draft day. Work with me, people. The Bertuzzi thing. A lot of chatter, man, about what's going on, and it's on the horizon. They going to move him this year or no?
Well, I mean, it's a conversation. I think that let's put a whole pause into it, and let first and foremost have Derek Lalonde sit down with Tyler Bertuzzi and see, there's conversations as men to be had here, right? So now, if he's not part of your plans moving forward, there's value there to get assets in return. But I always thought that he is part of moving forward. He has that Brad Marchand. Yes, Tammy, I gave your boy a shout out. He has that rat, that Tkachuk, that hard to play against. He has that ability. When he's engaged and in the lineup, this team plays a little bit different, a little bit more on edge, and he has that. He's got some of the greatest hockey IQ out there. So I'm hoping that they find a way. But if he's not in the hashtag a wiser plan moving forward, there's a guy that you have value with. The biggest thing to me right now that I look to, right, is there a sort of a resurrection, or is there something there with Zadina, and can we turn Rasmussen into Killorn? So
I'm not seeing it.
Which one?
Both.
No, I see the second one.
Okay.
Because I seen
defer to you.
I seen at the last year at the end of the season, the second half as the team wasn't playing well. There's one guy that really stepped up and elevated, and that was Michael Rasmussen. Sort of looked like he was finding his legs, his size, whatever like this. So I look, and it'll be interesting to see how they hear. But if he's your shutdown centerman, plays against the other team's top guys, then you already have it. So there might be something in there. And I'd be interested. Here's the next thing, Neil, after the draft and whatever like that, when we hear from the coach. Because the coach came in and pretty much said, hey, these guys are doing their work, this and that. I'm going to build relationships, be here for pats on the back. But then we go to work. Then training camp starts. Then rookie camp starts. Then all this stuff hits the ice. So then we'll know when the conversations are made. And we'll hear what out of the locker room, out of Derek Lalonde or Stevie or whatever is what visions they are. But I see that. So I'm excited for that aspect.
And it is, and it's a discussion people are talking about in the YouTube chat thread right now. So I do want to pick it up. This whole Bertuzzi thing, we don't have to spend a ton of time on it, but I feel as though there is the pro Bertuzzi people are very pro. There's no middle ground on it, I'm noticing. So I do want to have that discussion because I have a name that's a comp, and I have a number that's a comp, and I want to see if people are comfortable with it when we come back. But hey, D-Mac, if you're a free agent in today's day and age, you'll need a Guardian for your home.
Just one. You just need one, the only one. That is Guardian Alarm, your local security expert. Yes, because we know Guardian Alarm keep you safe and gives you peace of mind. Whether you're home, on the road, 24 hours a day, local monitoring makes sure what is important to you is safe. So if you want to be part of the Big D Energy Woodward Sports family, I need you to call 92 straight days of keeping the flannel straight. That's 1-800.
Stay out.
1-800.
Stay out.
Give it to them for everybody cruising on Woodward on this fine, thirsty Thursday. 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Nobody wants you, Brad Marchand.
Whatever you want. Oh, that was dirty.
Except for
Tammy didn't
Tammy.
like that right there. And I would say Marchand's a bigger rat than even Kadri. Guardian Alarm says so. They're your local security experts. Give them a call today, but make sure you tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
New rule here for Chili Peppers Tanning, home of the Pepper Club, where you can get all the best deals. They'll beat all the competitors' prices by at least $5. Chili Peppers Tanning has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. 26 locations and more on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one of those locations work best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning. Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Spencer Raxter. We got Sam Flannel. We are cruising along here on a Thursday. And, you know, D-Mac, it's one of those things where the Bertuzzi thing brings up a lot of energy in people. And I think this stems back, obviously, and it does. It's relevant to the storyline. The whole vaccination thing, that everything that went down where he missed games and all those kinds of things. You remember those shows? People felt some kind of way about it. They did. And, you know, for me, it's one of those things where Bertuzzi, in the last year of his deal right now, you know how this thing's work, D-Mac. And you say, yes, there is a time and a place, and that time is not now, which I respect. But, you know, that's not the way our business works. It's the way Steve Yzerman's business works, but it's not the way our business works. That conversation at some point will have to be had. and it will. And that conversation is, and again, you're intimately familiar with the business end of how all these types of things work. When you look at Bertuzzi and where Red Wings fans value him, where his agents value him, where Steve Yzerman values him, where the NHL market, free agency market, values him. These are all things that go into the equation. And then the number gets spit out. And, for me, being 28 years old, 27 years old, this becomes the prime contract for a lot of guys. And I look around the landscape, and I know, the positions are different. But I see a lot of, similarities. The position's different. Don't get me wrong. It's a wing, obviously, to a center. But guys like Thomas Hertl that are on, that kind of similar career trajectory. Yeah, the center for San Jose. He's 29. He's just played in the first year of an 8-year, $65 million contract that's got an average number of right around $8 million. Okay? I'm not saying that, again, the center premium versus the wing premium. But if you think you're getting him for a good deal or something like that, this is his contract to make his move in life. That 27-year-old, 28-year-old contract. This is where you are. And he had a good season last year from a goal-scoring perspective. 30-goal scorer, right?
Right. No, he's definitely valuable. And here's the thing, the intangibles that go into what Tyler Bertuzzi brings to your team, right? Goes more. But this is how... So the mentality back in the day, where do you slot in?
Right.
What is Bertuzzi? He's not an $8 million player on your team. You got to look at it. What does this guy make in order for you to be a winning team? Yeah, I'm not saying Tyler Bertuzzi can't make $8 million somewhere. But if he's making $8 million on your team, there's money not well spent because you're taking about $3 million or $2 million a year away from somebody else that you could have used it, right? To me, between $5 and $6 million. A $5 million, $4.5 to $6 million player, depending on how it is. And this is where Stevie, from history, has a guy penciled in. And there's a little, negotiation leeway. But it also, too, here's the question. What's important to Tyler Bertuzzi? Because obviously and as far as on the ice and a team guy, but as far as what have we learned, right, when it comes down to your opinion of him really doesn't matter as far as how he's going to continue living his life.
Right.
So what I mean by that hasn't to do with anything he cares, but his priorities might be different than other people's priorities in saying he might want the bag. Maybe this is where he's saying, no, I'm going to go somewhere and the money's more important.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to get inside his head or anything. I'm saying these are the things that get taken into account.
To have. But what I'm saying is you got to look at these guys because... to me, if $5 million a year, then you can win with Tyler Bertuzzi being a $5 million, even up to $6 million player on your team, right? Depending on how things work out, because of what he brings, not only offensively, but we can all agree that if you've seen this team play, they play different with him in the lineup than when they don't.
Duran's MVP on our YouTube chat thread says, if they trade Bertuzzi, I will riot. And Clump Sauce.
Listen, but here's the thing. If they trade Bertuzzi, you have to know that the return is getting you to a better place quicker. He's not going to give him away. He's not going to, if he has the ability. So if he was going to trade him, do you think Steve Yzerman's going to get snookered in a deal for a guy like that?
No,
what you're gonna lose on is you're gonna, a guy in the minors or a guy that maybe you gotta give him a cup of coffee and he's gone through waivers and maybe he latches on in another team. That's how you might lose a guy. You're not gonna lose a guy because you got beat in a trade.
Yeah, and people are talking about the YouTube chat thread. Pittsburgh Penguins themselves reporting they have agreed to terms with Chris Letang on a 6-year. $36.5 million contract
at that age
for the 35-year-old Chris Letang. Just be aware.
You're gonna be paying him $6 million. He's 40 years old.
So where does that slot? As you go to the market, where does that slot? With Tyler Bertuzzi. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it gets expensive
be at
quick.
Least a $5 million guy or $4 at the moment or at the least.
I mean, well, he's not taking a cut, and he's at $5.25 now.
Yeah.
So, these are the decisions. And we talked about this before the season started last year, and people gave me some crap about it. And I said, hey, like Dylan Larkin, it's time to go. And he did. And he went last year. He had a very good season. Now you got to go do it again. But these are the conversations that will have to be had this year. It's not just the draft tonight. It's all encompassed. I just like to check in from time to time.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, D-Mac. I just like to check in from time to time. And just remind everybody with all apologies to Lex Luger, that's what the total package is. That's what's out there.
Thanks, Lex. That's a good one.
Hey, got a lot of mad respect for the total package at Lex Luger. And Jeremy Anderson says, we need Bert. And look, I get it. Like, I understand it. But what's the breakdown number? What's your point of no return?
Over 6, I would say.
So that's it. That's your number in the sand. Your line in the sand.
Yeah, 6.5.
Okay.
I think it's 5.75.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because what you'll see, and as guys stick around or redo the deal, that it's I don't know. It's a conversation that there is a little bit left to go around. Now it could be 6. I don't think it's more than 6, but
yeah.
But again, you don't know what the priority of Bertuzzi is. I hope he's here. He's a special player, but again, if you do lose him to a trade, you will get somebody that you need in return. I guarantee that.
So there you have it. And again, D-Mac, I just like to check in from time to time. When we come back, ask D-Mac. That's right. Line up those questions for Darren McCarty. He'll be out tomorrow. I will be out on Monday, D-Mac. I'll be traveling back from South Florida. So, we will reconvene on Tuesday. So that will be when we next see each other. But hey, people are saying have a good show tonight.
Well, let me tell you about something new here. Got a new read for the Academy of Warren, a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. It can also be used for 7-on-7 football from kindergarten to 8th grade. That features AM and PM latchkey lunch, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and the K-8 athletics. So, if you are interested, get over to academyofwarren.net and enroll today. Tell them Big D Energy sent you.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
You'll rule here for Big Boy. Ciabatta, summer salads, ham dick shakes, all at Big Boy. Try Chicken Club Cordon Bleu or a Sunrise Ham and Cheddar, all grilled on ciabatta. Guys, let's be real. When a sandwich is on ciabatta, it raises the game. It just does. You can keep it light with the Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad as well. Don't forget to cool off with the hand dip, cookies and cream, or a strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better at Big Boy. Final segment of the show. It's time for Ask D-Mac. Your chance to fire off any questions you have for four-time Stanley Cup champion. Nothing's off the table with him. He's very open, very out front about everything. Lane Hartman says this: what do you think about Larkin extension at $7 million a year for 8 years?
Yeah, I think I'd do it. I'd do it. I like it. You asked me, do I think he'd accept it? I think you would. And then it's then you don't have to worry about it. It's sort of like, did anybody ever really know what Stevie made or whatever his contract was? It's just like the lifetime deal. That's sort of like along the same lines, but I also look at him as being, this is his team, this is the guy. So, yeah, sure, do it.
Mike G wants to know, ask DMAC, did Maltz annoy you?
Every day. Right, and it wasn't just little stuff on the ice and stuff like this, where, jab you and stuff like this. He's a cerebral assassin, right? You know where he'd get me the most? He'd be doing crossword puzzles, whether it was a Free Press or USA Today or Sudoku or whatever, and he sat beside me, so he'd put a word in or put a number in the wrong spot. You know that messed you up for a long time? Because, I'm so program, I got to finish off the one before I move to the next, so I had them all piled up, and he'd just sit there and laugh by the time I'd realize it. So, yeah, he messes with your head. Cerebral assassin, that Maltby.
Jeremy Anderson has an unrivaled question for you. DMAC, have you ever asked Claude why he doesn't just apologize to Drapes? Maybe it doesn't matter because Drapes will always hate him. I don't know. I'm just curious.
Well, you know what? How about this? And then I would say to everybody else, doesn't it seem to you that, don't you understand from Drapes, is that to me it's like your mom told you to go across the street to apologize 25 years later to your neighbor kid. You don't mean it and stuff like that. If he meant it, that's not between me and him. That's between Claude and Drapes,
you get put in the middle of that.
I don't know why he didn't apologize. I mean, I'm glad he didn't. I mean, it all played out, but it's too little, too late, I guess. So that right there is his life. Right? That right there is life. Not everybody's going to get along with anybody else. And I'd still be bitter, too.
Ask DMAC. Much respect to the enforcer in the NHL, but is the enforcer role a thing of the past?
Yeah, it's not. It's yes and no to the definition of it. Rip the old definition out, put a new definition in of what, it entails. It's more of a fine art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say this, too, DMAC. The enforcer role now is kind of like the fire department. Like for 99.9% of the time, you don't need one until you really need one.
Right, until you need one. And you do. Because every now and then, and it's just finding a different way. Because what it comes down to, Neil, it's about respect, of playing hard on the edge and not carrying it over the line or taking that abuse. But, I mean, you're always going to need it. I mean, I think that things get out of hand because of lack of respect more than anything. Fear's a good
motivator.
Fear's a good check.
Yeah.
Checks and balances.
Here on Mark M. DMAC, what's your favorite old school wrestling move, i.e. the figure four, the camel clutch, etc.?
Wow, dude, I love the camel clutch.
Camel clutch
big sharpshooter fan. Actually, Jericho's Lion Tamer and stuff like that, but my all-time favorite is the stunner. There's the submission hold. I would have to say the camel clutch. That's a slow, because I still remember the Iron Sheik with the pointy boots sitting it in, right on Hogan. Iron Sheik number one, like this. So
he's goated on Twitter, by the way.
Iron Sheik. He is. Oh, if you don't follow the Iron Sheik,
that's your problem.
Everybody's a jabroni,
especially the Hulk Hogan.
The Hulk Hogan, you jabroni.
Yeah. Hey, the Hulk Hogan. You know I broke your back and made you humble. I do love that. Another along the wrestling line. Francis Garcia asked DMAC, better finishing move, Jake the Snake's DDT, Jimmy Snuck off the top rope, or Connor McDavid's goal past 4 Ranger players? You know which one I vote for.
Montez Ford, frog splash. There's nothing that gets higher to the snooker. Yeah, you know it's McDavid. No, that's somebody. But the one, what is it, the Falcon Arrow or whatever, Pox 450 off the side, where he does a 450 onto somebody there. That's the best finisher there's out there.
What's better, the McDavid goal where he went around all those guys, or the Pavel goal when he went through like 3 Minnesota Wild players, or it was Predators, 3 Predators players, and roofed it?
Oh, Pavel. You just said Pav.
Yeah.
They're all saucy and sick. They're all saucy and sick. And I see Aaron Tack get asked, because I've seen it a couple times, about Nikita Zadorov, who is a big. He played in Calgary. I know in the playoffs he was playing defense. He's a guy that can play forward and defense. But there's a guy that can bring some toughness to your lineup that keeps a guy in that can play. That's the new enforcer. So he'd be somebody because the money would be right. I'd look too. Maybe that's a guy that we're going to sign.
Dom Rivera, 88, asked DMAC, are you going to Lions games at all this year? You should go to the first game. The hopium is at the all-time high.
Yeah, no, we'll be down there broadcasting, I'm sure, doing a bunch of stuff. So I'm all about going to the Lions game. You know, they give us a reason to get excited.
And Southpaw Slabs, DMAC, thoughts on Logan Paul signing a superstar deal with the WWE?
Deserved it. If you watched him at all in the ring and what he's done, he's an entertainer, and what he did at WrestleMania with the Miz and stuff like this. So they don't really throw that money away. They like to fire people more than they hire people. So obviously they know they can make money with them.
Kurt Romero asked DMAC thoughts on the Mount Clemens kid, Frank Nazar.
Yeah, you know, you always want these kids to go early. So that's always interesting to see if any of these kids that have come up in this system, because now, right, here's like with the Little Caesars, the Bell Tire, the Honey Baked, it's always cool to see the local kids get drafted because you don't know what trajectory or who has coached them along the line. So that's always cool.
No, it was. Cool show today, man.
Good times.
That thing cooked.
That cooked. I'll look forward to seeing everybody tonight. 9 o'clock, Grinder takes stage, and then do a meet and greet after. But everybody coming down. We'll see you, Uncle Sam Jam in Woodhaven.
There it is. All right, everybody.
Monday.
For Sam Flannel, for Spencer Raxter, for DMAC. My name's Neil Roll. Thanks for tapping in to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.
Deuces.